Welcome back to FFB, amigos, the ultimate channel for ultimate football fans with a little twinkle of Chelsea in the eye. Today, we're going to discuss the performance of Chelsea in the Conference League again, this time against Heidenheim. It took me a little bit to upload the video. I had to go over a lot of the things that I saw in the game again, but it was a wild game in the sense that a lot of craziness and nonsense, a lot of unnecessary craziness and nonsense happened, in my opinion. We had some goals, and we'll get into the details now. There was some mistakes, some standout performances, a couple of moments of brilliance. But overall, I don't think it was a great Chelsea performance. I mean, the score was good. It's probably the best opponent that we've faced so far in the Conference League. They posed a threat. And a lot of it, I think, exposed why some of these players are in the B team or the cup team in Chelsea. And why only, one, two, or three, I would say no more than three stand out. Let's start with some of the not so great news in Chile. Now, he had a sloppy start. I think the ref was a little aggressive with him, but he got yellow carded in the first minute of the game. That's never good. Later, playing out from the back, passed to Jorgensen. While Jorgensen is like that was crazy. Jorgensen was like literally talking to our players, and he surprises them with a pass that was terrible. It was a bad mistake, and then the keeper ends up playing it out to Dizazi, which my friends, disaster. I know you guys are calling him that. Not nice. The man's trying. Please remember he's playing out of position. The man's not a right back. And people say, yeah, but he's not really a right back because we play three in the back. We don't, man. We're playing three in the back, but one that's when we're attacking really, because when we're defending, our left back comes back to cover the left flank, and he's left covering the right flank. I mean, that puts him in a look. I'm not saying he's doing great. I'm just saying don't be so tough on him. There's a reason for that. But anyway, he does makes such a mistake, and he lets the ball sort of through as if the ball is going to go out the touchline, which doesn't. And they recover and they take a shot on goal, which Jorgensen, that was one of the things that he did, and that's is going to bring me to the highlight of the game, Jorgensen. In any case, against other teams, that kind of thing, that kind of back pass, we've been punished in the past with, Colwell when he's been pulling that nonsense. And so if you're in Team Cup, Team Bravo, and you're not, showing anything different, you're going to be there for a while. I think so. I'm going to name Badiashile just to save you guys time, the dud of the match. Instead of player of the match or man of the match, he's the dud of the match. Not very happy with what I saw. And that turns over now to what I consider the man of the match. Some will say it'll be Jordan Sancho. We'll discuss that. But I think Jorgensen, maybe because I'm a little too excited to hopefully, please, maybe we can replace Sanchez. Or maybe I'm just putting, I don't know. Guys, tell me in the comments. Am I just propping up Jorgensen because I'm desperate to bring Sanchez out? Are you guys ready to make that change? I heard somebody was saying that they did a poll, and it's 60% of Chelsea fans that would like to Jorgensen to start on the weekend rather than Sanchez. I don't know. What are you, 30 something, 40% of people? Are you like happy with Sanchez? You just think he's better than Jorgensen for some reason, or you haven't? I admit you can see you haven't seen enough of Jorgensen, but better. I don't think we know that for a fact. And maybe I got a little too excited that he proved himself today as a shot stopper. Yes, they shot right into his faccia de la faccia, right into his damn face, and wasn't like some of those shots, but some of them cat-like, and especially the two shots that he stopped in the rebound was pretty goddamn amazing. That was in the 68th minute. He does these back-to-back saves, And in reality, at a time, if you ask me, that they would have tied the game, and I think we would have struggled. I really do think we would have struggled badly if he hadn't made those saves. Maybe I'm reading this game wrong, but I started to see things I don't like. And I think that's the kind of game that the cup team should, Heidenheim coming back into the game. I don't know if you could have seen that out. Of course, the stakes are not that high, but the obligation to play at a certain level against this lesser competition, we have the obligation in these B team players to need to prove themselves if they want to ever have a chance in the big team. Offensively, Nkunku, it's a mix. I think people are being harsh on him. He missed a couple of really clear opportunities. I get it, but man, he's still with what he scored today. He's still the biggest, the best. Well, none of the best goal scorers, but the most prolific. And yes, he's playing the games against the lesser competition, but he's not getting putting them in the back of the net. And also, he's proving, and he proved today again, um, that he does really well in tight spaces. Um, he not just his goal, but two other plays. Yes, he missed the chance, but he created that chance for himself. There's like no space. He's in the box, and he sort of does this little wrestle in a tiny little, on a dime, as they say, manages to make a turn and escape the defenders and put a shot on target. And that's no easy feat, man. And I think that's a skill that we sometimes need when we're playing against the low block. However, yeah, he didn't, he wasn't as prolific with his goal scoring today. However, he's still leading that poll. Of course, he's behind Jackson, which we really believe in. And given that Holland is in a bit of a slump, and he's up there as the, I would say, top three strikers in the Premier League right now. So tough. But he started, and Nkunku started, and he played as the 9 and as the 10. And obviously, as the 10, I think he can be a little bit more damage, do a little bit more damage. And, we don't have very sharp 9. So as a 9, he does well as well. Like Mark Yu, man, he missed a couple of sitters, really, and showing that he's not, especially because of the way he plays, he's expected to put him away as a classical 9. I still like his runs. I still like his movement. But yeah, he didn't show enough. Mudryk's impact. The player everybody loves to hate or hates to love. He's let a lot of us down for a long time. Our future Ballon d'Or winner, which I don't think he is, mate. I hope he proves me wrong with it. I think there's just he has shown no consistency. But in any case, today he had a nice game. I think it was a good game. The goal came from a brilliant play from Sancho, which we'll get into Sancho a little bit. But he had a solid game and added some flair. And the finishing, he finished off proper way to finish that with a nice little firm, clean shot. He put it in the corner. He finished that goal. He didn't just smack the ball. He put it where he wanted. After an amazing play, he held the space. He did a little pause to come in at the right time into the box. So that was very impressive. I wish we can see that more and against bigger competition. But hey, let's see. I know some of you guys put that in the comments too. I'm always curious. Please, about the Sanchez versus Jorgensen and the Mudryk. Has he done enough? If you guys say to start, I think you're nuts. But sure, if you're one of those, please tell me if you think he's done enough to be a replacement on the left wing, and if so, to who? We're going to get a little bit into that too. We've got the Pedro situation. We've got the now Sancho created a problem on the right. Let's talk about Sancho for a little bit. 2 assists today, proving why he's the he's a first team player. Man, he did some damage, and I liked him on the right wing. Remember, this wasn't terrible competition. As a matter of fact, I'm calling this right now. What's the name of this kid? He's a Bayern Munich player that is playing for Heidenheim right now, and he had a missed chance, a direct shot on target against us today. and his name is like the 10. Yeah, Paul Wanner. Wenka. Paul Wanner. As soon as I looked at his stats, let me see if I can pull them up. I thought this is exactly the kind of player that Chelsea is like after lately. The kid is 18 years old and owned by Bayern Munich, currently playing there. I don't think he had a great game against Chelsea, but remember, he's in a small team playing a monster of a team. Dude's 18 years old, and this season, if I'm not mistaken, he has 15 appearances with 5 goals. Sorry, but that's interior Europe. He's got 10 appearances, 2 goals, and some assists. So, being a young player that's already showing some sort of something in Germany, and he's only 18, um, maybe the kind of player Chelsea go after. Like, we need another 10. We need another 10, like a hole in the head. But you never know with these guys. We're probably going to be offloading um, players this January. That's a different video. We'll talk about it. Anyway, going back to the match to Sancho. Sancho, like I said, I love them on the right, coming in, playing that 1-2, the setup, the 2 assists, and the setup for that goal. Man, world class, world class. Um, Casadei had a decent game, not a terrible game, not a bad game. He did all right. But how does he get a red card, man? Yes, the yellow was a little aggressive on him, but the second yellow completely unnecessary. Minute 95, like 10 seconds to go. This kid doesn't get any minutes, man. You know what I mean? And risking, not playing one match because you got a red card is a little bit crazy. And then here I left these up too, the score up here because we had 3 yellows and a red card in this game. That's just like nonsensical. At times playing out from the back, it was like a little bit of some nonsense. Missing sitters. Drewsbury Hall missed a sitter. But I don't expect much from that man, to be honest. I think he's a squad player. I don't think he'll ever be more than that. I think he's serving his purpose. But again, nothing special. Nobody's showing anything there other than Sancho. I think from the offensive line, Mudryk kind of what we know, but missing goals. And the same for Nkunku. No, sorry, Nkunku the one missing goals and Mudryk having a decent game, but as Mudryk does. So I think the game was supposed to be easy, but it didn't turn out to be. Um, Jorgensen to me and Sancho the best players. Jorgensen keeps a clean sheet. Again, he should start the game against Villa on the weekend. I don't know. Maybe Maresca is going to be like, let's wait a little bit. Let's wait until he has a run of good games where he's put to the test. But he doesn't get much of a chance to get put to the test in these, man. But I'd like to see him. I'm on the camp already where we're ready to see something else. Take that risk. We're not getting anything great. Some shot stopping maybe from Sanchez, but I think Jorgensen can do that at the very minimum. Sancho again, a little bit of defensive errors, but uh, amazing. I mean, really, really throws defenders off, and his desire and ability to play the 1-2s and make these like weird diagonal runs that are hard for people to track him back were fantastic. So I would say that the last thing is that tell me who was your those of you who watched the game, who was your man of the match. I'm a toss up between those two. Who was the dud of the match? I'm between two, but I told you who I picked for me. And what's maybe like the main thing that we should be looking at for Villa? I will be making a video of the pre-match tomorrow night, more than likely. I want to wait until there's a little bit more news coming out on the Malagusto injury. We have horrible news that we'll discuss in another video as well about Reece James. We'll get into detail about it, but they are now saying January, and I don't believe that. I think they're just saying January to like get off our ass right now, kind of a thing. Enzo Maresca in the if you guys watched the pre-match interview when they asked him about Reece James, he got kind of annoyed, and he's right about what he's saying. But this is the world of football, and this is how it is. They pretty much were like asking about Reece James, and he was kind of saying, "Hey, like stop asking about Reece James and about his injury so much, because the more you ask, the more pressure you're putting on the boy, and that just makes him frustrated and wanting to come back sooner, and that's not good for him. It's not good for the team." But of course, they're gonna ask. It's huge news, man. This is a player that I think is tinkering with retirement, man. It would really break my heart. That's another thing I'd like to hear from you guys. I asked in another video. Do you think there's a chance we're going to see Reece James retire because of these injuries? In any case, he'll be back in January, from what they're saying right now. I don't believe it, but we'll see. And we'll have the discussion about the Villa video. Please like, please subscribe. Making an effort to every day make a better video for you on this channel. And hopefully, with your support, I'll be able to improve. Today is Thanksgiving. Only you Americans care about that. But in any case, I'm very grateful to all of you who have watched my videos, who, especially those who have commented, liked, and subscribed. It makes me feel very motivated to continue to improve every day, 1% every day, and keep making better content for you every single day of my life. That's all for now. Come on, you Blues. Have a good one, everybody.